compounded by some of Jordan's own pre-existing structural weaknesses. Regional stability and the slowdown in economic growth in the Gulf has reduced the flow of much-needed private investments. Let's just compare with pre-crisis levels. Foreign direct investment has gone down to 1.1 billion Jordanian dinar in 2016 compared to 2 billion in 2008. Increasing investments is one of the essential levers if Jordan is to achieve the objective set in the Jordan 2025 strategy, to achieve a real economic growth rate of about 7.5% by 2026. The European Investment Plan is a sign of the strong commitment from the European Union to boost economic growth through private and public investment in our partner countries. In the entire Mediterranean region, there is an urgent need to achieve sustainable economic development and to create employment for a young generation hungry for opportunities. Our approach to working with partners throughout this region is to promote entrepreneurship, trade and new investment opportunities. Our aim is to address obstacles to inclusive growth, to promote job creation and to deepen economic integration. But also by triggering sustainable growth in neighboring countries, we are also offering new trade and investment opportunities to EU enterprises and investors. We believe that a stable, positive environment for business and investment is key to all this. That's why the European Union invests heavily in building the capacity of our partners in the region to develop and implement policies that foster private sector development and inclusive growth. In Jordan, a sustained push is necessary to address the important challenges the country is facing in meeting the aspirations of its unemployed workforce, notably youth, women and refugees. This is essential for the country's stability and its social cohesion. The EU fully supports the Jordanian government in its courageous reforms implemented to ensure macroeconomic stability, stimulate economic growth, and improve the investment and business climate. We are aware of the challenges, and while we commend the government's actions so far, more needs to be done on access to credit, on fiscal consolidation, and insolvency. In designing our development programs for Jordan, the overarching objective is to create the conditions for growth, creating more economic opportunities for its people. We already do a great deal, I have to say, from providing the government with substantial loans to help with macro-financial stability to supporting small and very small businesses. For example, the EU initiative for financial inclusion, which we have developed with a number of partners, consists of 5 complementary regional facilities to address different needs for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise finance. By pooling resources between the European Commission and European financial institutions, we expect to mobilize more than 1.2 billion in new financing for macro, small, and medium-sized enterprises during the period 2016-2020. And now I'm pleased to present today the new European External Investment Plan. This plan will integrate into more traditional forms of assistance such grants, a new generation of financial instruments, namely guarantees, risk-sharing instruments, as well as the blending of grants and loans. It also will include a guarantee mechanism in order to crowd in private investments. This innovative approach builds on the EU previous experience, bringing together lessons learned over 10 years of blending union grants funding with loans from international financial institutions to address development goals. Overall, about 44 billion euro are expected to be mobilized under the European External Investment Plan from 2017 until 2020 for Africa and the Union's neighborhood. I believe that we can together make Jordan an attractive investment destination in the region. This will require a long-term, easy-to-implement plan for private sector development and sound public financial management to create the right environment for instruments to create growth. Public-private partnerships are especially relevant for infrastructure development in areas targeted by the European External Investment Plan. For example, sustainable cities, sustainable energy and digitalization. The External Investment Plan will help the Union to build on our existing programs and scale up our assistance. Under Pillar 1, a newly established fund with 1.5 billion euro innovative guarantee and 2.6 billion euro regional investment platforms will provide more flexibility for supporting private sector development. It will allow public and private operators to leverage each other's strength. I expect that this pillar will enable us to build on the Union's 90 million euro energy and 100 million euro solid waste programs which already exist in Jordan. Under Pillar 2, we will be able to provide technical assistance to both improve the quality of human capital and investments under Pillar 1 and to continue our efforts to reform the investment climate, which the Union is already supporting with a 60 million euro budget support program for private sector development. Under Pillar 3, we will continue to work with the government of Jordan and the private sector to propose reforms to make Jordan a more attractive investment destination, building on work we already do in the context of our Union Macro Financial Assistance Program and our scheme for the relaxation of the rules of origin. Let me say a few words about this last point. To foster more exports from Jordan to the Union agreed in 2016 to relax the rules of origin requirement for Jordan to access the EU market. This was an innovative approach to help Jordan cope with the consequences of the Syrian crisis. The scheme has not yet delivered as much as we would have hoped altogether. But we are helping Jordan address the barriers that prevent companies benefiting from the scheme, and we are discussing making the eligibility rules more flexible. Only last week there have been discussions in Brussels. There are some proposals on the table. We are just assessing it, and I hope we can come back very soon with some feasible proposals. And I'm sure this can further improve this scheme, and in particular the way how it is used and what are the effects of it. And this is what counts. So I take the opportunity of the large number of private sector representatives today to call on you to use the already existing opportunities to the full and to take to use about how to increase the effectiveness